Hi guys, and okay, so you want to say hi at the same time as me? I always.
Oh, do you want me to say?
No, forget it. We'll work it out eventually, I'm sure. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome to our latest video.
Hi guys.
And we thought we'd put out this video because we have had one of our lovely subscribers, Creative Vlogs, who, by the way, does have her own YouTube channel with like 16,000 subs. So we'll put a link in below. And we had a little comment on our last video asking us to make a video about how to get on with whinging buyers and thieves, etc. Or you get the drift. So like difficult buyers.
The downsides of eBay, kind of.
Yeah, because unfortunately that's the kind of worry that has put her off, over the past, she said, 13 years to bulk selling. So and not to mention, she says she actually says I've seen a lot of change. Not to mention the way eBay penalise you when you get unfair feedback. Talking about downsides would make a video as well. Okay. Yeah, I did say penalise without grinning there. I realised, but then I thought about it. So
now
you're
laughing.
I laugh about it.
You're giggling. Yeah.
It's a funny word.
Okay.
And it's an interesting topic, and what I would say is, I've got about 3 years now experience, I think, or approaching 3 years.
Approaching 3 years.
Yourself?
I've only just started.
Yeah, really, about a few months.
Yeah,
few months. But you've got the benefit of hanging around with me.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. What I would say about dealing with difficult buyers or the scammers or the thieves, etc., is it's obviously going to seem like a much bigger deal in a way when you're not doing, when you're not selling in bulk, because 1 out of 5 seems a lot worse than than I don't know, 3 out of 100 or something like that, which, by the way, isn't even accurate.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there because, for me, first starting out, I very much found every return or every issue was like a big, massive deal for me. It felt
you do take it personally, don't you?
I'm still trying to get there.
I don't understand why, but as people, I suppose we do take it personally.
Yeah. So if someone says, gets back to you and says, this item isn't working and it's got this fault, and you're like,
it's very easy.
I tested that.
Yeah, but it's very easy to quickly get that return and assume the worst, isn't it? It's very easy to do that. And like I said, in a way, if you're a casual seller, or if you haven't sold a lot on eBay, you haven't done a lot of transactions, 1 out of 5, it could put you off because you're like, oh my god, if I'm going to get scammed that regularly. But from our experience, I'm just looking at our transactions for the year. I think we've done about 1,100 transactions. 1,100 transactions, and our return rate is 1.98%, which is 22 out of the 1,100 transactions. And that's including everyone. That's including the genuine returns as well.
When you think about that number is actually quite low.
It's tiny.
When you think about when you have like a physical shop and the amount of issues that you can have with, people coming in and stealing from you, the number of returns that you may actually have because you have a
physical store.
On a street.
That just to emphasise, those 22. Transactions we've had returns, those are going to include some where customers have paid for a return because an item just hasn't worked for them. So that's not, and that's going to include if we've been scammed, because obviously you don't really ever know if we've been dealt with, and out of those, I don't think we've had an unpleasant experience really.
No.
I mean, and we've had some unfair feedback. I mean, I remember getting neutral feedback with a comment saying, okay. I've had neutral feedback because some guy thought that the cutscenes on a PlayStation 1 game were a bit jerky. He reviewed the game basically, said it was a good game, but the cutscenes were a bit jerky. So he left me neutral feedback.
But that was apparently our fault.
Yeah, well, I called eBay and they were like, well, if that's the customer's buying experience. I was like, it's the game. I said it's a game from... And
this is the thing with feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, although
that frustrated me.
You can get negative feedbacks overturned if they've used like swear words in the
or if they've been nasty,
feedback,
if they've
or
been
if they've
particularly
been
nasty,
particularly nasty to you in the
you won't always get it
comments.
Overturned though, will you?
I think
we had a comment removed.
Yeah, we've had a comment removed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't really remove the negative feedback, but they removed the comment because of what the person actually said. So we kind of felt like that was kind of a half win really, because we were like, well, it was the comment that bothered us more than like the negative really.
It comes down to mindset in the end, because like we said,
I was actually going to say that it does depend on how you view it. I mean, I am still learning, I'm still trying. I've got the benefit of having Zahir with me, who's got 2.5, nearly 3 years experience, sitting there telling me, calm down, it's not a big deal, look at the number of sales we're doing, we're going to have a number that come back to us. So I do have the benefit of having you there, and I know not everyone actually has someone by their side going, calm down.
Well, I think, like I said, it is attitude, because you have to almost expect it to happen. Even if you've got, we lost our 100% feedback recently because of the negative. It's going to happen. You've got to almost prepare yourself. It's going to happen. Just like when you've got a shop, you are going to get stolen. You are going to get thieves coming in and trying to steal from you. And some people will get away with stealing from you. You will get people trying to pull the wool over your eyes and return a different item to the one that you sold. It is going to happen. But as long as you keep it in perspective and remember that, go into your seller dashboard, okay, and it's easy to remember. I don't know why we're wired like this, but we always remember. Like I said to you earlier, I said it's an interesting topic because you said you could remember the very first dodgy customer we had, and I said, well, okay, then tell me like the very first PlayStation we sold or something, and you couldn't because you can't, because for some reason we remember bad things a lot more. And then you go and look at your seller dashboard, look at your return rate, and you're going to see that in most cases you're going to be around the 2%, under 2% mark. And then you're going to think, well, is it worth me getting so upset that I'm going to cut myself out of all the other profit, everything else, all the 98% other of customers that will buy without any issue whatsoever, that will put profit into your pocket.
And another thing to remember is not everyone that buys from you is a scammer.
No,
they're just not.
Well, the figures prove it, don't they?
Yeah, there are some genuine people that actually. There is an issue that comes up with an item, or it could be that if you deal with clothing, it doesn't quite fit them the way they thought it would, so they return it. I mean,
that's a good way of looking at it.
Clothes come back to us like that. They were like, "It's a lovely item, it just doesn't fit me."
Right, so you've got to look at it. That 98% of the times we haven't had a problem.
Yeah.
The under 2% of times we have had a problem. Out of that 2%, how many people? So out of those 22 people, how many were genuine and how many were not genuine? So you could even take it down that out of those 22, at least 15 are going to be genuine, I'd say. Just by going...
It could be higher
than that. We don't know. It could be lower. It could be that 21 of them were dodgy and one of them was genuine. Or it's all 22 of them could be dodgy. It could be. But either way, it's such a small figure. And as long as you remember that, as long as you bear in mind whatever you do, any type of enterprise, any type of, it involves risk, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does involve risk. There are going to be some negative aspects of it, but it's overall what you get out of it.
And if you're getting worked up over small items, that's going to stop you from making money. Because how do you think I feel when I'm shipping off something that's like £200-300 and weighs a lot, has a high probability of getting damaged in the post, etc., etc.
The more times it goes through a depot.
So and the you're waiting, and sometimes you won't even get feedback.
No.
On some of my most high priced items. You never hear from the buyer. They've got their item. If they're happy, you won't hear from them. It's not often that I've actually had feedback from actually some of the most expensive stuff we've sold. We've not ever had feedback, but it's past the.
But we have to draw it as it must
they
be
must
okay.
Be happy with
otherwise,
it.
they wouldn't.
Well, you'd be pretty quick on the old email, wouldn't you? If you spent £400-500 or £400, £300, and the item didn't do what you wanted it to do, you'd be very quick to contact the seller. Mm-hmm. So you could actually be losing out a lot and damaging yourself a lot more than you think by having the mindset of there's so many scammers on eBay. I mean, don't go on the eBay forums. It's one of the most negative places I've ever been.
I don't think I've
been on there the odd time where I've searched for something and the search has brought up the eBay forums. Everyone, it's like, there's so many scammers. eBay are against the sellers. eBay are always for the buyers. Well, okay, they're for the buyers. That's a good thing. If you want your buyers to have confidence in the platform that they're shopping on, otherwise, guess what? They won't shop on it.
Yeah.
So good that they're in favour of the buyers.
And also just think about the when you have a buying experience, how you want to be treated by like a seller as well, and that will also make you think,
And look at the facts.
Problems come up.
Yeah, look at the facts. Don't just be like, there's so many scammers on eBay. Are there? 22 returns out of 1,100 transactions?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. It's not all of the buyers. That's tiny percentage. So it's about mindset. It's about some of it is experience. You could be really unlucky. Imagine if I'd done 50 transactions and I'd had those 22 buyers in the first 50, I'd be shocked.
Ask whether you're doing something.
You'd have to ask that. But also, they'd probably shut your account down on that basis. But my point is,
because you would have to ask what's wrong. But
things get magnified, don't they? Things get magnified. Yeah. You'll often see people on the UK reselling group say, "Don't worry if you get negative, as long as you don't get loads of them. Your chances are you're going to be fine." We had a negative on our account. We've lost our 100%. It's made no difference to ourselves. No difference whatsoever. Our sales are actually getting better.
They've actually been picking up recently.
Overall, because we've had a good record, a negative hasn't impacted our sales.
No.
So it's
one negative out of however many
positives. Yeah, exactly. So we hope that helped answer your question there. So that was that was a question asked by Creative Vlogs.
If you want to drop us any comments,
if you've got
any
more questions, then go ahead.
If you've got any ideas for
further videos, so thank you for Creative Vlogs for that one. Really appreciate the topic, and we hope we gave it a good bash.
Hope so.
Gave it a good bash. So
what's wrong with you today?
It's been live and bash.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is, now I'm going to remember, is obviously if you haven't already, subscribe, click thumbs up, follow us on our Facebook page, which is Zahira and Rebecca's Reselling.
Yes.
Follow Beck on Instagram. All the links are going to be in the comment section, and you can follow me on Instagram if you like as well.
Not that you've got much.
I've got bugger all going on there at the moment, but still follow it anyway. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.